Today, I'm pretty fucking pissed off. Terence Crawford, he told the WBC to basically go fuck themselves yesterday and is refusing to pay sanctioning fees to them for his $50 million fight against Canelo. $50 million! Did he forget where he came from?
Oscar De La Hoya, usually the king of internet trolling, has made it clear that the jokes are over, unleashing a furious and direct attack on Terence Crawford, whom he accuses of betraying the very system that helped make him a star. Behind the humor, De La Hoya is showing he's dead serious about protecting boxing's ecosystem from what he calls a dangerous corporate takeover, framing this clash not as another rant but as a battle for the soul of the sport. Comedic persona, he went scorched earth on Crawford, not over a bad performance or a dodged fight, but over issues of money, loyalty, and a secret struggle shaping boxing's future, claiming Crawford isn't just refusing to pay a fee, but acting as a mouthpiece for a corporate machine threatening to destroy the sport. Now, all eyes are on the $300,000 controversy that has turned a once-revered idol into a villain in the eyes of a legend.
How do you think you rose to that level? Through the ranking system. You get positioned to make that kind of money. I mean, come on, you're 38 years old. You've been paying sanctioning fees for a long time in the past. There's nothing new here. It's nothing groundbreaking. You had no problem when they were ranking you to fucking fight Canelo.
To understand why Oscar De La Hoya is so furious, you have to look at the moment that ignited the entire firestorm. Fresh off the biggest win of his career against Canelo Alvarez, victory that reportedly brought him a staggering $50 million payday. Crawford did the unthinkable. He refused to pay the WBC sanctioning fees for the very belt he had just won. We're talking about roughly $300,000, okay? A tiny fraction compared to his massive check. Yet Crawford went live on Instagram blasting the WBC and declaring that the only belt that truly matters is the Ring magazine title because, in his own words, it's free.
Free! It's free! How you love that? $180,000 free. How much your belt cost? I wonder how much your belt cost. Huh? I don't see no receipts on your belt. It's crazy. Y'all be having so much taxes on these belts. You got some nerves. It's crazy that you can sit up there and have all these belts. You know, you got the WBC silver, the WBA intern, the whatever belt y'all got, and you taxing these fighters every time they fight, and you claim that you for these fighters. You're not for these fighters. You probably worse than the promoters. But hey, I wish you the best. You know, I wish you the best. You and your company.
Sounded like a bold rebellion against boxing's corrupt alphabet organizations had fans cheering. But Oscar De La Hoya saw something completely different. Instead of a freedom fighter, he saw a hypocrite, he pointed out. That Crawford is 38 and has paid sanctioning fees his entire career without complaints. So why take a stand only after securing a $50 million payday? To Oscar, this wasn't about principle at all, but about greed and ego. He compared Crawford to a Hollywood actor whose agent works tirelessly to secure him a $50 million blockbuster role only for the actor to cash the check and then tell the agent to get lost when it's time to pay their 10.
How do you think you rose to that level? Through the ranking system. You get positioned to make that kind of money. I mean, come on, you're 38 years old. You've been paying sanctioning fees for a long time in the past. There's nothing new here. It's nothing groundbreaking. You had no problem when they were ranking you to fucking fight Canelo. It's like my agent getting me a huge movie and he's asking for his 10% commission of all the work he put in. And then I tell him, you know what? Go fuck yourself. How fair is that? I've heard Crawford say many times that he loves the belts, but suddenly the WBC is the enemy and the ring belt is the only one that matters? I mean, seriously, Suleiman has to be rolling in his grave. Literally. I mean, it sounds like you're reading a script or something. Come on, you've been the ring mouthpiece and the chosen one since they came on board 2 years ago. We all know that. I mean, it looks like that Monopoly money really got to your head. This is not the way champions behave.
Oscar de la Hoya, that is exactly what Crawford is doing. The WBC rankings, the iconic green belt, and the prestige that came with it were the very things that positioned Crawford to land the Canelo fight in the first place. In Oscar's eyes, you can't use the system to climb the ladder and then kick the ladder away once you reach the top. His message is simple. Ungratefulness is the ugliest trait a champion can show right now. Oscar believes Crawford is wearing it proudly.
Mauricio, got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another $100K something for sanction fees, right? Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize? Like, who the fuck you think I am? Boy, you better slap your fucking self. Ain't paying your ass shit. Fuck you talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any of the other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean fucking shit. The fucking real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker. Who you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanctioned bodies because you feel like you better than them. How in the world all the sanctioned bodies agree to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? The fuck? You can take the fucking belt. It's a trophy.
Oscar believes there's a hidden motive behind Crawford's sudden attitude shift, claiming he sounded like he was reading from a script. For a usually quiet fighter to suddenly promote the ring belt so aggressively, Oscar suspects he's being used as a pawn by bigger forces. He points to the TKO group and the power behind Riyadh season, accusing them of trying to monopolize boxing. By eliminating traditional sanctioning bodies and creating a UFC-style league, if they can get a star like Crawford to trash the belts publicly, Oscar says, they move one step closer to a corporate takeover, and Crawford becomes their mouthpiece.
Consciously. But I'm saying that does play into what they're trying to, what Turkey Al-Sheikh and the guys that pay Terence Crawford are trying to do, which is to tear down the sanctioning bodies and build up this TKO boxing, Zufta boxing, where they can get these fighters in there for low salaries and they don't have to, and it's, a low pay, fight by fight, low pay, and relative to the money that you can make in an open market. They want a very closed market, and they want fighters that be able to have where the managers and the promoters are basically all the same person, right? That works with them, but because they can't do that if they have to use sanctioning bodies to put fights forward. So what they're doing is they're trying to pass a Muhammad Ali Revival Act, which will allow that model to compete with the more free promoter sanctioning body setup that we have right now. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Boxing is going to be what it's going to be.
Easy for fans to shout down with the sanctioning bodies, but Oscar flipped the narrative by revealing exactly where those fees actually go. In a surprising Robin Hood-style defense, he explained that the WBC isn't just a belt factory, it operates the Jose Sulaiman Foundation, which supports fighters who have fallen on hard times. The $300,000 Crawford refused to pay wasn't headed into a CEO's pocket, Oscar argued, but into a fund designed to help boxers who are struggling to survive after their careers end.
A very clear 0.6%, which is $300,000, with $225,000 going to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which is to help former fighters in need. and it is just regrettable. Not even a thank you or I'm sorry, taking a different route, no response. I wish him the best. But this is not. The WBC is huge, it's great, it's about greatness, and I'm really...
Oscar detailed exactly where the money goes: housing for homeless former champions, medical bills for fighters suffering brain injuries, retirement funds for those who never earned $1 million payday by refusing to pay his $300,000 share. Crawford isn't sticking it to the man. He's taking resources away from the fighters who paved the way for him. Oscar painted him as a selfish superstar, so blinded by his newfound wealth that he's willing to let his brothers in the sport suffer just to save a few bucks.
I think the Jose Suleiman Foundation does, because of those sanctioning fees that you refuse to pay. You know what he does? He helps these kids get off the streets. He houses ex-fighters. That money goes into retirement funds. That money goes into paying hospital bills for fighters who can't make it. So just because you made it, Crawford, and you made $50 million, you don't want to pay that fee ever again? That is wrong. I'm very disappointed. Yeah, there's an agenda here by that TKO group. And I'm going to do everything in my power to do whatever I can to protect boxing, because this is a sport that gave me everything.
The irony isn't lost on the boxing world. Oscar de la Hoya, who has spent years fighting promoters and exposing corruption, is now defending the very establishment he once challenged. But for Oscar, it's a duty. He sees himself as the protector of the sport, remembering what it was like to be a hungry amateur chasing that green and gold belt. Deeply disappointed, he views Crawford as a champion who has lost his way, letting corporate money rot his values. To Oscar, the green belt symbolizes history, legacy, and the blood of legends like Ali, Tyson, and Chavez, and treating it like trash is a betrayal of that history.